Warning: the following episode contains all content listed on screen. Please read before continuing. Hello everyone, welcome back to Scarlet Hollow, the Rose Untraveled update. The time has finally arrived. We are at the end of our current playthrough, our hardcore Wayne romance run. Sometimes I forget we're playing hardcore mode, and then I'm reminded every time I have to make a choice at someone else's expense. But for our quick recap of episode 3, we got to go on the ghost hunt with Stella and company, but we also got to have some alone time with Wayne for a change, get some hints about our family history, which led us to abandoning the spirit of Charles Shaw in the library, which we have no idea what the consequences of that will be just yet. We also got to meet Reese and his very friendly mother in a very normal dinner scene. We got to spend some time with Tabitha, soothing the waters until that inevitably changes. And we even got to talk with Isaacs and get some information about Perlan and Tabitha and Wayne, or Sam Wayne before he was known. And I'm excited to continue the story. So, with all that, let's just jump straight in. Let's just jump straight in and do the final episode until we get to pick up this game again. Let's go. You open your eyes. It's a new day. Last night seems so far away. You can almost pretend the horrors you witnessed in the annex were nothing but a nightmare, chased away by the harsh morning light. But you know that the furious spirit of Charles Shaw Jr. yet lingers, locked behind the doors of the town hall, still tied to the earth by its hatred of you and your bloodline. An involuntary shudder runs down your spine. But your thoughts are interrupted by the buzz of your phone on the nightstand. Hey, have you heard from Stella? I haven't been able to get a hold of her. Thought she might have at least checked in with you. You check your messages. There's nothing from Stella. Oh yes, she also ran away. As a result of the ghost hunt. You dial Stella. Hey, what's up? Just kidding. I'm not able to come to the phone right now. This is actually a recording of my voice. It isn't really me. Technology, huh? Anyways, leave a message. Or don't. I never check this thing. That makes sense. The mailbox is full and can't accept messages at this time. Wow. I guess she wasn't lying. Text Stella. Kanika and I are pretty worried about you. Please respond. You wait for a few silent minutes. Your message sits undelivered. Haven't heard from her either. That's not good. I know we haven't exactly gotten along, but we should meet up in town and look for her together. Well, we at least know how Kanika feels about us here. Looks like you have your morning plans in order. First, we take a shower. You might as well take a shower before starting the rest of your day. You step into the guest bathroom and into the shower. It feels good to wash away the grime of last night's haunting, but eventually, you'll have to leave this place and confront the rest of the day. In the meantime, you... Oh, Wayne shower thoughts. Of course. You have... You think about Wayne, and whether you're ever truly alone. How much do you want to bet that one of these occasions there's going to be a silhouette of him behind the shower curtain? Maybe. You're done here. You turn off the faucet and dry yourself off. Check the closet. You make your way to the closet. There's no denying it. The doll moved at some point since your most recent visit. Yes, so it has. That's concerning. That's very concerning. But your long-dead relative's creepy doll isn't the only thing that's different. Someone was in here. Something to mull over for the rest of the day. I wonder who that could have been. Visit Dustin, please. The only good thing that'll probably come out of today. You open the drawers. They both have a bread now. Human is back. Maybe changed mind about eating us. Could be the end of Dustin and Dustin Mom. Never. I would... Should I? I would never eat you. I love you. Dustin Mom know better than to trust. When push comes to shove, survival more important than friendship. Dustin Mom spent too much time outside. It's different inside. There's enough bread for everyone here. No need eat friends. Dustin still have childhood innocence. Hope Dustin get to keep that innocence forever. I will put this little guy and you in my pocket and leave this place if I have to. If I do leave, you're both coming with me. I guess your glass house still has that squatter? I'll teach you how deep my friendship runs. Tried to reclaim glass house last night, but asshole squatter too big and strong. Dustin Mom stand no chance. Might have to live in Dustin house forever. Human bacon strong, too. Meh. Human big and strong too. Probably more big and strong than asshole squatter. You fight? Give Dustin Mom glass house back? That is my instant reaction. I'm not brave enough. I'm busy? No! Anything for you, Dustin. Squatter have sharp things on head. Human be careful, but Dustin Mom would be eternally grateful to human. Dustin too. I should get going. Okay. I got an important mission today. And I'm not talking about Stella. That's that. It's time to face your cousin. I'm just kidding, we'll find Stella, but... The possums. She's not here, but it looks like she left a note on the counter. Had to run. The librarian needed a new house, so I'm giving him the keys to the Maxwell place. And the miners decided to stage a strike, today, of all days, so I won't be around. I know there's no point asking you not to do anything reckless, but I'm asking you anyway. Be back late. Call if you get into trouble. Tabitha. Time to figure out the rest of your day. Let's get our usual hissing from Frou-Frou. You walk over to the cat. Oh, c'est toi. Qu'est-ce que tu veux maintenant? I missed you last night, Frou-Frou. That makes one of us. Will you ever let me pet you? It has been known to happen. Perhaps one day, when you have earned the right. But don't count on it, disgusting human. So not impossible, then. Unlikely, but not impossible. We're in. Do you know anything about the stone carvings scattered around town? I am not here to be your commentator. Cher detective, je suis un chat. I am here to watch you flail in the darkness. I am not here to provide answers to whatever mysteries confound your feeble American mind. Nod respectfully. She scoffs, her tail twitching with annoyance, but you can sense she's less annoyed than she usually is. Maybe she's getting used to you. False hope. I'll take it. Bye, Frou-Frou. Good talk. She scoffs as you turn away. No quip. No insult. Investigate the garden. Whatever kicked out Dustin's mum is in the garden, right now. You'd better look into it before you head into town. The air is chilly today, the overcast sky hanging oppressively over the weed-choked flower beds. It's too cold. Investigate the greenhouse. You start carefully picking your way through the underbrush. It doesn't take much effort to find a path. Cuttings of prickly raspberry bushes and tangled vines litter the ground around the greenhouse. The glass house, one could say. You step towards the door. Goat! I saw a goat! It's sealed shut by a lock, and you catch a brief glimpse of a horned shadow through the ancient clouded glass. I can pick... Okay. Examine the lock. It's just a padlock. You can pick something like this open in a second. Let's pick the lock. Oh, be so sneaky. When are people going to learn that a mere lock can't keep you contained? You pop it open with ease. That is indeed one goat. Trying to see if there's anything of note in the background here. Not as such. Not yet, anyway. A warm barnyard smell floods your senses as you stare down at the goat within. It stares back up at you from its place on the tiled floor, surrounded by dried herbs. What are you eating? Plant. How does one give a goat a decent voice? Plant. Tastes good. Get a new bag every day. All I can eat. That don't mean you can take any, though. I'll beat you up. My plant. What's your name, little guy? Goat. What are you doing in the greenhouse? Goat? Human put me here. Can't complain. Pretty sweet digs, honestly. Stays nice and warm. And there's plenty of eats, too. Did that human have a brown coat and big boots? Coat? Like what? Fur? Nah, not brown fur, yellow fur. Just on the top, like all you humans. Don't know what boots are. Can't help you there. Yellow fur. Well, that sounds like blonde hair, doesn't it? Where did you come from? Farm. Used to live with other guys like me. Kinda miss them. But not that much. Don't gotta share anymore. Should I be polite? Should I be forceful? Do I untie the goat? Oh, if I untie the goat, I'll leave evidence behind that I was here. But do I want to do that? Kinda do. Let's do it. You unclip the rope, tying the goat to the greenhouse. Hey, what do you think you're doing? That's my rope. Put it back. No. I kind of want Tabitha to know that I'm closing in on her secrets. You're free! Go on! Prance off into the wilderness. Nobody can keep you here any longer. Who said I want to leave? There are some sweet digs. I ain't giving them up for nothing, you hear me? Hey, whoever you are, there's a possum that would like you to leave. She was here first. This is her house. Don't wanna leave. I live here now. She can deal. Oh, I tried. Guess I'll leave you to it then. Sure. Suit yourself. More space for me. And close the door on your way out, will ya? It's nippy out there. Leave it open. Close door. You close the door behind you and reapply the lock. Your cousin will be none the wiser about your little excursion. Nope, except I untied the goat. Thanks, I appreciate it. You head back to the estate. You investigated the garden. With Stella missing, it's best not to keep Kanika waiting for much longer. Yeah, somehow I don't think she would understand me if I said I was wrapped up in goat shenanigans. Fill up with a quick PB&J. You haven't had one since episode 1. In anticipation for the long day ahead of you. And that's that. It's time to head to town. You head to the front door and begin your trek to the town below. The sun shines down through the thin layer of clouds, illuminating the path in a watery grey light. You can't help but feel countless eyes watching you from the tree line, a feeling that reminds you of your time in the woods on Monday. Ditchlings shouldn't be out in the middle of the day, though. They're getting bolder. As you continue the trek to town, you pause to stare out the mountain range beyond the hollow, contemplating a world that's blissfully unaware of the danger threatening the citizens of this tiny town. Yeah, what's that like? The world outside feels less real with each passing day, as the strange reality of what's happening in Scarlet Hollow gently uproots what you'd always taken to be the truths of our world. Your everyday worries seem distant, overshadowed by a fear and dread that hasn't stopped building up since the moment you stepped off that bus. Again, I blame the bus guy. It isn't long until your journey from the estate is over, and you once again find yourself on the main street of Scarlet Hollow. Hey, you made it. I made it. I still haven't heard from Stella, and I've already seen a bunch of those ditchling things scurrying around in broad daylight. I know my mum said they were harmless, but we should start looking for her. So how are you mentally? Conceptually, I know what you're on about, but what? what an opener. Is there a better way of asking that, or am I doomed to ask it this way? I was kind of surprised you reached out to me, after all the issues between you and Tabitha. I care more about fighting Stella than I do about the ongoing feud between me and your cousin. And I'm not going out there alone, because the last thing I want is to go missing while looking for someone who went missing. We do everything in groups from now on. So, how are you mentally? That's a great question. My concept of how the world works is being shattered a little more each day, so that's cool. Every day I feel more and more like I need to get out of this town before it swallows me whole, but I also keep feeling like there are too many reasons to stay. Like right now, I can't leave until I know Stella's okay. With her folks gone, the only people she has are her friends. And as her bestie, I can't just let her go running off into the woods to get eaten by a Bigfoot. And my mum is just so chill right now, it's driving me nuts. Anyway, that's how I'm doing. Probably about as poorly as everyone else who was at the library last night. Except maybe Stella. Ghosts, am I right? I'm supposed to see your mum at some point today. Maybe she'll finally shed some light on things. I'm not sure what she's planning to tell you today that she couldn't have told all of us last night. Maybe she's going to read your fortune. I should probably stop making fun of her whole new age mystic vibe. A lot's happened in the past couple of days. Still, there'll be plenty of time for tea after we've looked for Stella. So, ghosts, huh? Yeah, ghosts. I don't know about you, but I'm currently staving off a massive existential crisis about the state of the matter and what being alive means. Any idea why Stella was so upset? Being possessed seemed awful, but she's the only one who ran off. Could be a lot of things. She could have hit her breaking point stress-wise. She could have been horrified by meeting a ghost for the first time. She could be struggling with what that ghost did. But at the end of the day, I have no idea. We'll just have to find her and see if she wants to stop running from it, and finally just talk things out. This information is destroying me. Same here. At this point, I'd much rather it turned out to be a town-wide gas leak from the mines. Then I could leave town and return to normal world where there aren't creepy ghouls or ghosts prowling around. Still, everyone experienced the same thing. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think we should probably just operate under the assumption that ghosts are real from here on out. Is the ghost still in the library? I have no idea, and I don't think anyone should even try to get a look, especially not you. Who knows what might happen if that thing so much as catches a whiff of scarlet blood? Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. Any leads on Stella? I haven't had a chance to talk to anyone else yet, so nope, none so far. She ran north last night. That doesn't mean she didn't double back. I'm trying not to worry too much. It's possible she's safe somewhere, just not answering her phone. But I also don't want to bet on that. We should get started. Yeah, we're burning daylight. Where to first? Seems right to check her house first. I mean, hopefully we can get to all of these. Yeah, let's go to her house first. Definitely. I probably should have done that before getting you to come all the way down here, but to be honest, I was scared of wandering off by myself, just in case I ran into any other horrors from beyond the veil. It'd be great if this turns out to be nothing and she's just asleep in bed. Maybe we can bond, Kanika. Maybe this is a strange kind of bonding experience. You make your way towards Stella House. Stella House? Stella's house. Kanika knocks anxiously on the door. It creaks open. The interior is cold, and not just physically. There is an absence of joy and life that leaves only a chill behind. This is the ghost of an empty house. When this music comes on and then mystical pops up, there is a sobering dread that comes with the knowledge that your search won't end here. This doesn't look like a break-in. It looks like somebody left the door open. Stella, or someone else, was in a hurry when they left. Will she not like me if I pick mystical? She's dead. I don't sense anything supernatural here, but I don't like the look of this. We should go in, right? Yes. Yeah, we should go in. Whatever happened to Stella, it doesn't look like it happened here. Oh! Stop it! Stop it, I can't take anymore. Okay, nothing unusual so far. This is a perfectly normal living room. No blood or viscera, or even a tipped-over lamp. That's good. Investigate the kitchen thoroughly, including the fridge. Stella's kitchen is slightly messy. A couple cabinets are hanging open, and a loaf of bread sits on the counter by a used butter knife. Looks normal to me. Stella's house has always felt a little sterile to me. This feels a little too lived in, if that makes sense. Though maybe that's just because I've only ever been over when she was already expecting me. Gretchen. Investigate her room. You make your way down the hall to what you assume to be Stella's room. She's not here. Though it's a little untidy, it's the usual sort of untidiness that accumulates when someone doesn't often have guests in their bedroom. There aren't any signs of violence. Let's have a quick look here. Oh, Gretchen, stop it. Game, you're being cruel at this point. Is that Stella? Check her computer. Go to check Stella's computer. I'm not sure we should be snooping on her computer. Isn't that an invasion of privacy? There's a lot of reasons to do it, and there's a lot of reasons not to do it. Okay, you're right. There probably isn't anything helpful on there. Thank you. This sure looks like a room. Any thoughts? Yeah, nothing much to comment on. This is what her room's been like for pretty much the entire time I've known her. The only thing that's changed is the computer getting a lot fancier. Oh, she still does those corkboard with string things. She loves putting the strings on there. I don't think they actually mean anything, but they're more of a decoration anyway. I could see the appeal. Okay, I don't think we're going to find much else here. Let's move on. Okay, so she's not here, and we still have no idea where she is. I thought I was overreacting this morning. I thought she would have just been sleeping in or something. I can't believe she's actually missing. Where to next? Well, realistically, go to the police. That's not a terrible idea. I'm sure they won't be much help, but we are dealing with a missing person, and that's cop stuff. Hopefully they don't give you a hard time. They've really been on your ass. Oh yeah, they think I prank called them last episode as well, didn't they? The police station is exactly what you would expect from a town the size of Scarlet Hollow. It smells strongly of coffee, and faintly of aged furniture and paper. And the general tidiness speaks of a department that doesn't get much of anything done. But you're also not alone here. You enter to find Beau and Duke standing between you and the officers behind the desk. Now listen here, Hugby. Big Betty was set to win a blue ribbon, so don't you go telling me she was just a pumpkin. We worked real hard to get her that big. Raised her up from a seed. It's just not fair, officer, sir. I understand that at all, but I don't see what you'll want us to do about it. I know you all cared a lot about this pumpkin, but as it stands, there simply isn't a job the police could help you with. Now, if you were able to find some kind of evidence that Julius or somebody else stole this Big Betty of yours, then you could get a lawyer involved and take it to a small claims court. Dang it, deputy! Ain't finding evidence what y'all's supposed to be good for? That Julius has been stealing what rightly belongs to the Callaways for all his life, and you folks ain't done a lick of policing to put an end to it. I told you we were better off handling this ourselves, Daddy. The cops realize you've entered, their attention quickly shifting to you. Well, if it isn't our little prank caller. I knew it. I knew they hadn't let that go. You know you're not supposed to do that, right? There are laws in the books about pranking emergency services. We'll let you off with a warning. For now. Probably because it was funny. I'm glad you found it amusing. Listen up, boys. We've got a missing person on our hands. Stella hasn't been seen since yesterday. The last anyone saw, she was in a state of distress. Oh, so you think you're leading an investigation, do you? Coming in here like you have some kind of authority? Well then, why don't you march on out and dig up some clues, if you think you're such a big shot. Come on, I'm serious. It's dangerous out there. I think you'll find you're putting a lot of time and energy for nothing. Stella's always wandering off. She'll turn up. Best to leave the officers to handle real crimes. Like our disappearing pumpkin. Oh wait, so it was stolen after all? Interesting. Duke's right. She'll turn up. She always does. Are you all talking about Big Betty? Seems the Callaways here have lost a considerably large pumpkin. We ain't lost crud, Earl. You can't lose what's been stolen, and we already know who did it. We saw Julius eyeing her yesterday. Wait. So what if it was Julius the first time, and then something else this time? Look, Bo, I feel you. I really do. But that's circumstantial at best. And even if it wasn't, you know yourself that there isn't a clear property line. What makes you think Julius stole it? You're poking at a wasp's nest, Demetra. There's 100 years of history here. He's been claiming Big Betty was his since day one, on account of he thinks it was planted on his side of the property. He's got himself confused about where the property line is, as always. The Callaways and Tremaines have been at this a long time. They can never agree on whose land is whose. This ain't the first time we've heard something like this. We get our fair share of calls from Julius, too. Just how valuable is Big Betty? She was darn near 2,000 pounds. She's gonna get us a blue ribbon. And now we've already missed our chance. The judging was supposed to start today, and here we are, still stuck in the holler and short our prize winner, with Julius Tremaine to blame. He practically spits the name, and then he literally spits on the floor. He ain't even coming to his door to answer for what he's done. Just hold up like the coward he is. At the very least, he could give us seeds from what's left of her so we can try again next year. She was good stock, our Betty. That is the question. This is what makes me believe it wasn't Julius. How would you even move a 2,000-pound pumpkin? I don't know how he did it, but he did it. That man's always had gumption. Ain't nothing in the world that can stop him if it means ruining my day. You sure it wasn't a bear? You think a bear would just roll a 2,000-pound pumpkin off without a lick of evidence? That's right, sir. Weren't no bear. We're hunting folk. We know the signs. This was a man's work, and that means it was Mr. Tremaine. He knew just what to do to hurt our family. Right, stir the pot, or... Well, I am the stir the pot kind of character, so... It doesn't take a genius to know that Duke's in the right here. Did Julius grow that pumpkin? Obviously not, or he wouldn't have been so sneaky about carting it off. Do your jobs. Darn straight. Don't encourage him. If the Tremaines and Callaways had their way, we'd have personally ransacked each of their farms. One of these days, y'all are gonna have to pick a darn side. Don't my tax dollars pay your salary? Last I checked, Julius pays taxes too. Are you part of a cult? Well, it looks like you folks are busy. We'll be on our way then. Well, that was a total waste of time. I hope Duke and Bo find their pumpkin. Where to next? I mean, it's still a bit of interesting info though, because that pumpkin was heavy. And there's no way a man could move it on his own, so... Unless it was Bo. So I'm thinking either a very large ditchling, or... maybe that pumpkin ran off by itself. Sprouting legs. Let's go check the Oh, you know what? It's just occurred to me. I don't think we've even gone in the diner once in this playthrough. Okay, we're definitely doing that at some point. Let's check in on Oscar and Rosalina. They should be at the old Maxwell place. Tabitha dropped off the keys this morning. The old Maxwell place? With Rosalina's leg the way it is and everything they've been through, now they have to stay in a broken down ruin that should have been bulldozed years ago? Your cousin is going to get an earful next time I see her. Kanika storms off down the road, and you follow close behind. You don't get far before the sound of growling and desperate hisses grab your attention. Pixel! No! Get away from me! I'm supposed to be an indoor cat. I'm not supposed to see things like you. You don't even talk, you freak! You turn to see a ditchling approach a cornered Pixel in an alley. He must have slipped out of the library with everyone else last night. What are you looking at? The ditchling, distracted from its hunt by your arrival, craned its neck to face you, its eyes settling on you with alien indifference. Hey, quit it! The words feel meek as they leave your mouth, and the ditchling, unaffected, turns back to its cornered prey. Don't you dare! I'm grabbing Pixel. Before you can react, a small pack of dogs round the corner. Oh yes, get him! Get him! Before you can react, a small pack of dogs round the corner. I said that. They pounce on the creature, pulling it from the wall, and then taking turns biting and tearing at it until it's ripped to shreds. Their task complete, they saunter towards you. What the... What are Daisy and Scraps doing out here? Are they leading some sort of ditchling hunting dog gang? I mean, that was very effective. I lived! Pixel, you got out of the library. Oh, you poor cat, come here. I guess he's mine now. Pixel cautiously walks towards your group, before clambering into your arms. He has a comfortable heft to him. I see how it is. Everyone likes Demetra. Even the cats. Okay. We found him last night, terrified and shaking the bush outside the library. Sure, I wasn't that scared. I've even been helping out. Little Pixel's here been volunteering as a scout. Don't worry, we were always right round the corner. Those creatures only like to strike out when they have numbers, but they're hardly very bright. We made sure the little guy was taken care of till the humans were awake. We all know where he's supposed to be. Good doggies. Oh! Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. You call me a good dog? Daisy good dog? Daisy's tail wags excitedly before she regains her composure. Sorry. I just love to hear it. It was so stinking adorable. Is Kanika just off to the side, watching as the dogs just bark at me? So you're this Scraps I've heard so much about. The one and only. This here is Daisy, and we've got a few other concerned locals with us as well. Just making sure the cats and dogs of the Hollow are well cared for, considering recent events. There are more of those things in the woods every day, popping out of the innocent bodies of what used to be dogs like us. He's done us a fine service, but you'd best make sure to keep Pixel inside from here on out. I've got a feeling things are only going to get worse from here. Like to see you try. I was an indoor cat, but now that I've got a taste of the outdoors, I will never be satisfied by the indoor life. But maybe it can wait until those monsters are gone. We'll make sure he gets back to his family. We appreciate it, human. Word's been going around town that there was one among you who could probably understand us. It'll be good to have you on our side during these strange times. Odd things are going on around here. It's important for all of us living things to watch out for each other. So, you're all some kind of dog militia or something? Yeah, I suppose you could say that. I'm sure you've met the town's illustrious leader by now. When the powers that be abandon you, it's up to the rest of us to band together and protect those who need protecting. I mean, if you continue to do that... Have any of you seen or smelled Stella, Gretchen's human friend? Oh dear, poor Gretchen. We heard about what happened to her. To think those awful creatures could get a dog whose humans cared about her so much. It just goes to show that we've got to look out for ourselves if we're going to survive. If the humans can't save us, we'll have to save ourselves. To answer your question, we did catch a whiff near the library, and one near her house. Haven't picked up anything around town since then. Let's hope those creatures haven't already gotten to her. Can you help us find her? You've got better noses for this sort of thing than we do. I'm afraid we can't be making many excursions into the forest until those creatures are long gone. We've lost enough already. We don't need any more of the local pets to go missing. What about Gretchen, Scraps? If her purse is in trouble, helping out is the least we can do to honor her memory. Fair enough. We'll see what we can do. We'll keep our noses to the ground and let you know if we find anything. Is there anything we humans can do about the ditchlings? Like, pummel them? They ain't that hard to kill when there's a whole lot of us. They die easy enough, so long as you don't get caught unawares. That's why we're gathering all the local dogs. A big pack is a safe pack. Jimmy may not be doing anything to help. That doesn't mean we can take matters into our own hands. Now, Daisy, no need to start in about the mayor. He has his own priorities. So long as he doesn't get in our way, we don't need to go starting trouble. Yeah, screw Jimmy, what a joke. One of you should have been mayor. Well, aren't you sweet? Some dogs just ain't fit to lead. It's not his fault the humans of this town flung him so far out of his depths. I would have voted for you, Scraps. Aren't your families worried about you? Off on your own like this? We're country dogs. So long as we come home for dinner, most of us aren't missed too much. Speak for yourself. I know my family has been worried sick, but I can't let that get in the way of what's important. Besides, if I went home, they might tie me up, and then I'd be a sitting duck. I mean, dog. We'd best be on our way. All of you'll be careful. Same for us. For the first time that we know of, those things are out during the day, which means the pets of Scarlet Hollow need us now more than ever. Make sure the humans keep an extra careful watch on their furry companions. Pixel. The band of dogs scampers off. You just had a full-on conversation with those dogs. Sure. If ghosts are real, then why can't animal whispering be real too? Kanika sighs, muttering to herself. Knowing dogs are capable of carrying on an actual conversation is going to make being a veterinarian really weird. Pixel in tow. You and your companions continue on to the old Maxwell place. The old Maxwell place. It was clearly once a mid-century modern home, and undoubtedly quite stylish for the time, but it's been abandoned for unknown decades, and moss and vines choke its exterior, barely concealing cracked walls and dust-clouded glass. Hey, where the heck are you taking me? This ain't my house. Before you can approach, the door opens, and Oscar's head pokes out from the entryway. Hello? Oh, sorry if I startled y'all. The walls here are worn down enough I could hear you coming from a block away. Good morning, Oscar. Thank goodness you found Pixel. Rosalina's been beside herself. Oscar's voice is tired. He's had a long night, and it shows, his greying face seemingly having aged in the hours since you last saw him. Please, come in. Oh. Poor Rosalina. You're doing really great, Rosalina. Not a lot of kids your age can take shots that well. You're being so brave. You don't have to talk to me like I'm 5. But you are brave. You really are, Rosalina. You're like, so badass. Alexis is right. This is more than most people have to deal with in their whole lives. And here you are taking it like a champ. Before Dr. Kelly can continue, Pixel jumps from your arms, bounding across the room and leaping onto Rosalina's chest. Pixel! I've been so worried about you. I told you he'd turn up. Dr. Kelly's almost gentle bedside manner vanishes as she turns and glares at you. I see we have visitors. Everybody is going to hate me in this run. How you doing, Rosalina? Tired. My leg hurts. A lot. But the medicine is helping. It's not so bad now. And what are you not going to do today? Walk around. Sorry, Dr. Kelly. I should have been better at stopping her. I take full responsibility. As her father, I should have... No need for anyone to step in to take the blame for anything. It's the hospital's fault for sending her home at all. It's gross negligence if you ask me. But give it time, then you can do all the running around you want, alright, Rosalina? You just have to make sure you give that leg of yours a chance to heal a bit first. You don't want to pop any stitches. How's Reese? He's fine. Had a rough night, but he'll recover. He's used to that sort of thing. He just needs a couple days to get back on his feet. That means no more excitement. Not even a movie. I'm sorry to hear that, Dr. Kelly. But I wanted to see Shino-chi. Flirts? Okay, not the appropriate time, not the appropriate character. I was promised chilling Japanese found footage horror. Watch it on your own. I'm sure your cousin has a TV lying around somewhere in that big house. Probably not, actually. Warn Dr. Kelly about the stone carvings and what you felt in the clinic. Sure. We'd found something in Oscar's house last night. A stone carving that gave me a vision about what happened there. There was one in the mines the other night too. Both of them had a sort of pull on me. Whatever they are, there's something like them in your clinic. I felt it last night. You can feel Dr. Kelly's demeanor shift. She's grown quiet, her gaze piercing and analytical. You really have to leave immediately? Something awful is going to happen at the clinic, just like something awful happened at Oscar's house at the mines. Forgive me if I don't take your funny little feeling very seriously, but the clinic is safe. I understand there have been some strange events around town, but Reese and I have lived in the clinic for a long time, and we've never encountered anything. She glances at Oscar. Ghostly. There's no need to concern yourself with our safety. But if something does happen at the clinic, aren't you worried about Reese? If it's anything like what happened to us last night, he'll be fine. If some kind of ghost emergency happens, I can take care of him. So none of you need to come snooping around. She hesitated before landing on the word ghostly. She's hiding something. Sorry again about the library. There's no need to apologize. It's a building. You're a person. You matter more than a pile of stones. Oscar. I do kind of wish we could go back for our stuff. Thanks for letting me borrow some of your clothes, Alexis. You can borrow as much as you need. I have plenty of shirts, and you can do laundry at our house too. Of course, there are some family heirlooms that I'd rather not lose. Portraits of my parents, my father's mining jacket. Don't like the thought of their last living memories being forgotten in there. And the fact that it stole the library from me too. That one really stings. But, what are you gonna do? We could always try going on a rescue mission for some of your stuff. No, absolutely not. No one is going back in there until we have thoroughly researched plan of action. This goes especially for you, Demetra. Who knows if you'll be able to leave again? You've done enough for my family. I don't know about that. How about no one is going back in there, period? We're going to need to deal with it eventually. Boarding up the library isn't a permanent solution. Are you sure about that? Because I don't see any reason we shouldn't just leave the thing alone. Forever. What's going to happen to your career now that the library is closed? That's a good question. I was up all night wondering the same thing. If things stay the way they are right now, it's essentially like the library burned down. The books are inaccessible, the building is unsalvageable. In that scenario, the county would have to put up the money to build a new archive, or we'd have to move someplace where I can work in an existing library. And Scarlet Hollow would lose a valuable public service. Oscar. Move? So you, Rosalina, would leave? But we're not going to do that. Right, Dad? We're staying here? I'm going to do everything I can to keep us here. I would like to apologize on behalf of my cousin for making you stay here. You don't have to fall on that sword for her, Demetra. There's no need for everyone to apologize. Things happen, and it's not like we'll be staying here long term. I'm going to get the library back, and our house with it. It's all bravado at this point. Not even Oscar believes what he just said. It's a bit of a curse reading people so well in this run, isn't it? I'd best be on my way. Goodbye, Rosalina. Make sure you stay put and keep Pixel company, okay? I will. Bye, Dr. Kelly. Thanks again for doing this. I can't express how much... It's nothing. I'll call later today to see how she's doing. Good luck to the both of you. Dr. Kelly briskly pushes past you and leaves. I wouldn't expect anything else. Oscar, before we get sidetracked, we're not just here to talk about monsters and what happened in the library. Oh? Stella's been missing since last night. Oh. You haven't seen her, right? Not since last night. Now I'm really starting to worry. It sounds like no one in town has seen her. I'm sure she'll be okay. You should probably get back to looking for her soon. Before you go, though, there is something I wanted to get your thoughts on. Let's step outside. Oscar ushers you to the street. What's up? Is everything okay? Yes, or at least as okay as it can be, considering everything that's happened. But I don't exactly feel safe. Strange things are going on in Scarlet Hollow, and I'm tired of running from them. I want to get our house back. You've all been looking into the town's history, correct? I overheard your discussion in the library the other day. Have you been able to find anything that might explain what's going on? I don't think we have too much to go on. I can't help but feel like there must have been some kind of inciting event, since everything started getting weird seemingly overnight, but I have no idea where to even start, really. Whatever the cause of this, there might be some way to put this genie back in the bottle. I'm going to do my best to find out if there have been any similar events, and whether there's anything special about Scarlet Hollow that might explain what's going on. The town archives are, unfortunately, in the library. Rosalina has been pestering me to make some sort of digital backup for months, but I never got around to it. So, online sources it is. We'll fill you in on what little we know, so you at least have some place to start. I think Sybil knows more than she's letting on. She wants me to come to talk to her today. My mum? But she's always been such a crystals and herb kind of lady, not like someone who actually knows about supernatural stuff. She's always had a strange air about her, hasn't she? I'd be interested to know what exactly she intends to discuss with you, Demetra. I have a feeling she has more than tea to offer. Yes. I wish I could relay every suspicious bit of behavior with Sybil onto them, but... Make sure Pixel stays inside, or he might be grabbed by ditchlings. The ditchlings are those things in the woods, right? With those faces? They snatch animals to do some kind of parasitic egg-laying thing, so unless you want one of those things to pop out at Pixel, you better keep him where it's safe. I think some dogs kept him safe. Like, a gang of dogs? I know it sounds ridiculous, but we saw it with our own eyes. A gang of dogs? I suppose stranger things have happened. This very week, in fact. But we'll make sure he stays safe. There is that thing in the clinic I mentioned. That pull. I wish Dr. Kelly were taking this as seriously as she should. Oscar, what did you tell her about last night? She didn't bat an eye at anything Demetra said about the supernatural. She mostly just got defensive. Does she know how bad it was? I told her everything. She seemed to believe me. But who knows, maybe she was just being polite in front of Rosalina. Maybe this whole time I was ranting, she was actually just nodding along, thinking I had a psychotic break. Maybe. I'll make sure to shoot Reese a warning text. He at least deserves to know something might happen. We should investigate the clinic. You're not wrong, but at the same time, I don't want to be the one who sneaks into Dr. Kelly's clinic and gets caught. She's mean enough as is. I don't want to know what she'd be like if she caught us breaking into her place of business. No one should be breaking into any houses. We don't need to go looking for trouble when we've already found a lifetime's worth. I don't know if we have time to play it safe. Just give me a day or two to do some research before you do anything rash, okay? That's too long! That's too long, Oscar! I wonder if this could be the work of some sort of cult. No any local cults that could be responsible? Let's not get all satanic panic just yet. I know it's not looking unlikely at this point, but having lived in this town all my life, I feel like I would know if there was some cult that ran the place. Or would you? It just seems like the kind of thing that wouldn't be easy to keep secret in a place as small as Scarlet Hollow. I don't even know of any in public record. Even in the 70s, when cults were a dime a dozen and hippies were flocking to the hills. Whatever we're doing next, I feel like we're missing a vital team member. We need to find Stella and fast. I agree. We need her brazen energy if we're going to do any serious sleuthing. Let us know what you find. I will. We're going to get the library back. We're going to figure out how to fix whatever's wrong with this town. At what cost? I'm interested to know. So that's Oscar. Any other ideas? The diner! Good idea. Folks tend to congregate there. Maybe we'll run into someone who's seen Stella. It feels like you've walked into a private meeting. The back booth is full of miners, and they're having what seems to be an intense discussion, their expressions gravely serious. Oh, hey, there's Isaacs. Hey, Avery. Are we interrupting something? Of course not. Everyone's welcome here. Just, be careful not to step on any toes. Things have gotten a little tense over the past couple of days. Avery, let me talk to you, please! The miners in back were too engaged in conversation to notice you enter, and instead of speaking in hushed voices, they argue with each other loudly enough for you to easily overhear. Sure, the shift schedules are tough, and sure, we don't get enough time off for me to see my family as often as I'd like, but this is the best job I can get right now. Listen, kid, you're only a year or so into this gig. Trust me, the longer it goes on, the more it sucks the life out of you. At first, you're just unhappy, but you think you can weather it till you find something better. A paycheck's a paycheck. I get it. The next thing you know, you've lost years of your life to a company that doesn't give a solitary shit about you, that uses up every free second it can suck out of its workers and pays us just enough to survive, but not so much that we can even save enough to get the hell out. Zax, we could get fired for this. I really need the paycheck. My sister needs the paycheck. I'm the only reason she can afford her tuition right now. I can't get fired. And this job still has its perks, like the company housing. I can't afford my own place and send money back home. I don't know where I would live if I didn't have this job. Right, the company housing. How generous of the big boss to put you up in a company-owned shack that ain't had proper maintenance done in decades. You know she uses that housing as an excuse to pay us less. And the company housing, that means almost nobody in this whole damn town knows the place they live. It's why the Scarlets can keep getting away with whatever they want. Zax, we don't have the numbers, man. You know this is risky. Riskier than most of us could afford. We would have had the numbers if y'all would stand with me and not let management's scare tactics get to you. It's not scare tactics. People like her now. That woman ran into a collapsed coal mine and saved 3 children from being buried alive. I feel you. I really do. But how are we supposed to organize a strike against the town hero? Are you trying to tell me that a mine collapsing less than 2 days ago is why you don't want to strike? It's a bad time, Zax. It's always a bad time, Baker. It doesn't matter whose name is on the deed for the place. Without us, there is no mine. We've got them against the ropes. We can't back down now or they'll come out swinging. Hey, sorry to interrupt, but have any of you seen Stella? She's missing. The miners turn towards the doorway, all eyes glaring at you in unison. The YouTuber? We ain't seen her. Harris's voice drops to a barely audible mumble. I hope she's okay. She hasn't been around, but I'll let you know if I hear anything. Weigh in? Oh. So about the strike. We all know who you're related to, kid. Words travels fast, and I'll be damned if we talk business in front of you. Let's see. I may be the boss's cousin, but I support the strike. Whoa, even the boss's family is on our side? Maybe this really could work. The whole town should be on our side. There was a collapse less than 2 days ago, and she expects us not to riot at the thought of being forced back down there? Damn straight. Hear, hear. Still, if you support the strike, the best thing you could do right now is not meddle with it. Trust can only go so far. Okay, we should get going. Why can't I talk to Avery? The game at this point is forcing me not to talk to Avery, and it's killing me. I guess we should get going. You turn and leave the diner, Kanika trailing close behind you. Still no sign of Stella. We should go to the mines and pester my cousin. I guess there's a decent chance Stella went to find your cousin, since they're friends. Come on, I'll drive us. You follow Kanika to her van. It isn't long before you find yourselves outside the Scarlet Mines. There's a small gathering of workers outside the entrance to the mines, picket signs in hand. I hope it's not weird to talk to them while they're in the middle of all this. Look out, fellas. That's the boss's cousin. And Zach said these kids were just down at the diner acting suspicious. Don't engage. Again, I may be related to Tabitha, but I stand with the workers. The miners collectively ignore you. Have any of you seen Stella Richmond? She went missing sometime in the past day, and we haven't been able to find her. The YouTuber? She's the one with all the banned from property posters, right? We haven't seen her. And we've been out here all day, so we'd know if she'd come by. We'll make sure to keep an eye out. I need to talk to Tabitha. So you're saying you want to cross a picket line? Yes. Come on, what harm could I possibly cause by going in there? I have my cousin's phone number. I'm staying at her house, and last I checked, she knows you're all striking. If Zach doesn't trust you, then I don't trust you. Dang! Dang it! Maybe I should have kept my mouth shut. Fine, I'll call her instead. You pull out your phone and dial your cousin. Hello? What is it? You're not about to get eaten by the Babadook or something weird like that, right? Do you want to try that again? No. Just tell me why you're bothering me. You know I'm dealing with a strike right now. Stella's missing. Have you seen her? She's... missing? Tabitha was quiet for a moment. I'm sure she'll turn up, but I'll see if I can get a hold of her. Don't think looking for my missing acquaintance gives you a pass to do anything dangerous. Acquaintance, you're killing me, Tabitha. You're forbidden from doing risky things, even for what you might think is a good reason. I'm hanging up now. Bye. She hangs up the phone. That doesn't sound like she knows where Stella is. Come on, let's go. We can figure out our next move when we get back to town. Where to next? We should check out the church. The church? What, do you think Stella decided to get religious all of a sudden? I just want to be thorough. Let's make it quick. I don't want him trying to rope me into some church event. The pastor does want to talk to us, though. Kanika leads the way, taking you up the gradual slope towards the church. Alright, where is that weirdo? Someone called? My. 3 visitors at once? On a Thursday? This is unprecedented. But there are only 2 of us. Oh no. Were we followed by a ditchling? Were we followed by Wayne? I hope so. Sup, old people? Oh, it's just Zane. What are you doing here? All the glimpses of death I've had in the past 2 days have forced me into the midst of an existential crisis, my dudes. I want to see if faith held any answers for me. Alas, I have not yet found the solace I seek. Give it time, Zane. It sometimes takes a while for the Lord to work his way into your heart. But when he does, you won't regret letting him in. Be sure to look over those pamphlets I gave you. And of course, I'm always here if you need to talk. Sure thing, Pastor D. Peace, y'all. Anyway, we're looking for Stella. She wandered off last night, and no one has seen her since. We're starting to get pretty worried. We hoped maybe you or Janie had seen her. I can't speak for Janie, but I'm afraid I've seen neither the hide nor hair of Stella. If you'd like to talk to my wife, she's just over by the alpacas. Oh, Demetra, I was hoping we might be able to talk in private. Sure, what's up? I guess I'll leave you to it while I check in with Janie. Kanika heads off towards Janie and the alpacas, leaving you alone with the nervous pasture. I'm so glad you came. I've never met anyone else who could hear them. You have no idea how long I thought I must have had some kind of insanity. I even thought at one point there must have been the Lord himself, talking to me through them. But they never had anything very insightful to say, so I was disavowed of that pretty early on. Yes, need more grass doesn't really sound very insightful, does it? Hang on a minute. Kanika, you were right all along. You see those 2 little peepers anywhere. Is your gift why you got into church? It's hard to say. I was raised Baptist by 2 loving parents and was always interested in religion, but I've always known about my talent, so I don't know what came first. If anything, though, I'd say I'm religious in spite of the gift. It hasn't exactly been easy to square this with a lot of religious education I've had. For instance, a lot of religious leaders will tell you that only humans have souls. Well, you and I both know that's not true. Though I suppose that gets to a whole different conversation about what exactly a soul is. But those are conversations that I'm glad to leave to the scholars. I'm just a simple small-town pastor. I don't need to ask the big questions anymore. I just have to help people through their daily lives. Are you sure we're actually talking to animals? Now that I know there are at least 2 of us, I have no doubt. There have definitely been times in my life when I thought I might just be nuts. But it's so consistent, and I've never exhibited any other signs of insanity. In my most doubting moments, I have considered the possibility that other entities may be using animals to confuse my faith. Besides the particularly vicious hamster I had grown up, the most an animal has ever tried to convince me to do is give them more food. Tell me about that vicious hamster. So I somehow doubt they're puppets for some otherworldly evil, unless that otherworldly evil wants me to overfeed my pets. Yes, the animal uprising. Have we been cursed? Oh, why do we suffer this fate? I don't think it's a curse. It can be annoying at times, but so can talking to people. Not that I feel that way very often, of course. As a servant of God, I am always ready and willing to talk to my fellow man about anything they need to discuss. Spiritually, I've always rationalized it as God's sign that I should spread his word to even the beasts of his world. I've had mixed results. Seems the alpacas prefer Catholicism, which they know about somehow, and birds tend to be incredibly heretical. I wish I could approach a scientist about this without becoming a research experiment. But I prefer to keep quiet at my doctor's visits. I can't risk being locked away or altered in some permanent way, not when I have a family to take care of. Have you met Frou-Frou, Gretchen, Pixel? Of course I have, but I learned early on in my life not to let on that I have this gift, at least while other humans are around. Whoops. So I haven't spoken to any of them. Do I get the feeling Frou-Frou wouldn't talk to me even if she knew I could understand her? She'd have some very colourful things to say, I'm sure. I've tried to befriend the alpacas when no one else is around. Emphasis on tried. They're surprisingly cliquey. Can I try? I'm curious. Besides that, I try to maintain a low profile, only chatting with the wildlife when I'm sure no one is looking. But you and I are very different, my friend. I have done it in spite of. I can't express how much relief it is to finally meet someone else like me. Likewise, though it may be more than just the two of us now. I have my suspicions that Tulip might have inherited the gift. It's hereditary? There have been some particularly nasty rats in the church lately, and she said some things that have led me to believe she might be able to understand them. He's interrupted by the sounds of a snapping twig and a high-pitched giggle, partly muffled by the underbrush of the edge at the property. Tulip! Come out of there! You know you're not supposed to play in the woods! Tulip glances back into the woods, quiet, as she hesitates. Tulip, are you going to be good? Or are we going to have to skip story time tonight? I'll be good. You don't have to skip story time. I won't go to the woods, I promise. I know you won't, Tulip, because you know it's too dangerous for little girls in there. Why don't you go help Mama with the alpacas? It's just about time they got fed. You can give them hay. Alright, what does she see? What has she seen? Tulip smiles broadly, seemingly excited by the prospect, and hurries off. Sorry I had to have a firm parenting moment just then. She's been trying to run off into the woods a lot lately, and it's really dangerous, even for adults. Don't we know? There is this massive trash dump not too far past the trees, but it must be at least 50 years old. It's all grown over and looks like it's part of the landscape. But if you accidentally walk on it, you might find yourself falling into a hip-deep mound of rusty cans and broken glass. How big of a trash dump are we talking? Would a weekend of hard work clear it out? Maybe if you had construction equipment and a team of professionals. It's a big area, and I have no idea how deep it goes. In the meantime, I'm just making sure Tulip knows not to go near it. Wait. What were you saying about church rats? Ah, yes, the rats. So you and I are used to the sort of chatter we hear from wildlife. There's usually nothing that needs to be paid attention to. But these rats, there's something so sinister about them. And they must be huge, judging from the sound of them scurrying around in there. Tulip had never shown evidence of the ability before. She's never responded to the alpacas or engaged in conversations with the birds. In retrospect, she could have been hiding it, the way I did growing up. Because I know she's been talking to the rats, she calls them her friends, has been drawing all these pictures of them. Really ghastly things. They don't sound like rats. I've tried to bring it up with her, but she just gets this little smile and doesn't say a word, like it's her fun little secret. It's all innocent enough in the grand scheme of things, but I'm pretty sure they also live out in the trash heap, and ever since she started talking about her friends, she's been trying to sneak out there. Oh, I'm concerned she's going to get hurt or catch some kind of disease. Yeah, we need information. What have they been saying? They like to try to goad me into crying or becoming depressed. They watch me through unseen holes and make fun of me and try to figure out how to press my buttons. It's annoying, but easy enough to block out, especially when I'm praying. I don't think they're a good influence on Tulip, though. She's gotten quiet and secretive ever since she started talking to them. I'd hate to think what they'd say to her when I'm not around to hear. Have you actually seen them? No, but I don't need to. I lived in a dorm that had rats once. You never see them, but the church has all the signs of an infestation, and there's no mistaking the sound of little creatures stampeding through the walls. I've left out some humane rat traps, but they're too smart for them. All it's done is waste peanut butter. And I caught a possum in one, poor thing. Possums are never very bright, but at least he got a nice big scoop of peanut butter out of the ordeal. I sure hope that wasn't a family member of someone. We'll have words. Strong words, if so. Has Janie heard them? She's not in the church very often. She's usually in town doing her jobs until late, and we spend our evenings in the house. It's just me and Tulip all day long. Janie knows Tulip has made some strange little friends, but thinks it's an imagination game. I was hoping I'd sort out the rat issue before she could get suspicious, but they're persistent. So I may have to hire an exterminator if I can get the money for one. I hope it doesn't have to come to that. Will we have to be the exterminator? Are you sure they're rats? I think so. The pasture shifts uncomfortably for a moment. I hope so. That's really creepy, dude. Is there anything I can do to help? Maybe I could try talking to them? That would be lovely. I'd certainly appreciate a helping hand here. I don't want to be too much of a bother, and you should probably finish looking for your missing friend first, but I'll be around. Out of the corner of your eye, you see Kanika walking back to the two of you. She must have finished talking to Janie. Janie says she hasn't seen Stella either, so we better get going. Hope your talk with the pastor went well. Yes, we had a great conversation. I appreciate you all stopping by, even if it wasn't under the best circumstances. I'll let you all be on your way. And I hope Stella turns up soon. I'll put in some good prayers with the big man for her. Alright. Thanks. See ya. Kanika starts back down the path to town, and you follow. Okay, now that we've put some distance between us and the church, what did he want to talk to you about? He didn't say anything weird, did he? Nosy, aren't you? Coming from me. Tulip's apparently made some weird imaginary friends. We might want to check it out later this week. Kids make up imaginary friends all the time. Pastor Daniel says that there's a rat infestation in the church, and that the rats are her friends. I don't know, it seemed weird. Okay, as much as I'd hate going back there, I guess that's a loose lead. If we don't have anything else to investigate once we've found Stella and... Kanika pauses. Once we've checked out the clinic, then maybe we can look around the church. Let's not get too distracted till we find Stella, though. Where to next? Before you can say anything, you're interrupted by Kanika's phone buzzing. Oh my god, my mum's calling me. When is she going to learn to text? Give me a second. Hey, what's up? No, still no sign of her. You're going to keep looking a while longer? I'm really feeling okay, I'm not... You're right. Now that you mention it, I do feel kind of tired. I shouldn't push myself. I'll come home. She has a point. I'm not feeling well right now. I've got to get back to the general store. Maybe some tea could help. That is a drastic change of expression. Like, her eyes are suddenly so distant. This really crept up on me. I was doing fine until... the phone call. Kanika starts to sway, losing balance in her legs. I must have been running on adrenaline. She stumbles, bumping into you before regaining her balance. Sorry. I think I just need some help getting home. I'll have some tea and maybe lie down, and then we can get back to looking for Stella. Kanika leans on your shoulder for support, and you help walk her back to the general store. Thanks. And sorry. This is embarrassing. Oh, don't look at me with that face. The bells of the general store chime welcomingly as you help bring Kanika inside. Oh dear, Kanika, you poor thing. This is why you were supposed to stay in bed today. If you keep running around like this, it's going to take you so much longer to recover. Thank you so much for getting her home, and I hope you're feeling better after last night's fiasco. Hi, Mum. Go on, get up to bed. I'll be up in a minute with some more tea. And Demetra? Once she's all situated, I believe I owe you a chat. You owe me a lot. Hopefully we'll be able to start making sense of your visions. Wait, if you're talking mystery-layered stuff, I should be there. Sweetie, you've done enough today. You never like when I do tea readings anyway. I'm sure Demetra can catch you up once you're feeling better. Okay, you're right. I'm not feeling well. I should really lie down. Kanika heads towards the stairs and disappears without saying another word. There's something off here. It's as if Kanika's spirit dimmed at Sybil's words. Whatever that was, it did feel like the same person who stormed out of the general store just yesterday morning. That person wouldn't just do as she was told so easily. Couldn't help but notice an uncharacteristic firmness in Sybil's voice too. Maybe their relationship isn't so pleasant behind closed doors. Shall we? Sybil motions towards the tea room. Let's do both. We're bold. What did you do to Kanika? Do? It almost sounds like you're accusing me of something. The only thing I did was tell her she should rest, as any mother would. And she listened, as any child would. You sure about that? Okay. Follow Sybil to the tea room. Please, have a seat. I'll bring you a fresh cup. You take a seat at the small table at the edge of the room. It's dark here, only a sliver of sunlight able to filter through the heavy curtains, supplemented by the bright grow lights over the plant in the corner. Sybil joins you at the table and places a cup in front of you. It smells light and citrusy, with an undercurrent of decaying earth. This is a special blend. It should help clarify some of the visions you've been getting. I'll be able to do a reading once you're done. Until then, how about we just chat? Pretend to sip your tea while looking for an opening to dump it in one of the potted plants behind you. Yes, yes. You lift the tea to your mouth and pretend to take a sip, carefully waiting for a moment when she's looking away to toss its contents into a nearby plant. Fooling everybody. The other day you promised to tell me, what was it? Unsavory tales of my mum's youth? I most certainly did, though I might have been exaggerating a bit for dramatic effect. I'm prone to do that. In a town this size, you get to know everybody, no matter what the age difference might be. Vivian was a little younger than me, which meant I had always had a certain older sister instinct about her. Her family wasn't good to her. Alan was a lot like your great-grandmother, Edwardine, which is to say, she was not a very kind person. Similar to Tabitha, but with more social grace and considerably more hatred for her fellow man. But your mother wasn't as shrieking violent either. She was just as stubborn as any other, Scarlet, so her family choosing her as their punching bag made her into quite the rebel. And here's your opening. Dump that tea! You take advantage of Sybil's broken attention to quickly dump your tea into one of the pots behind you. Slick. Why were Palan and my mum raised by Edwardine? What happened to their mother? Their entry into this world was violent, I'm afraid. Their mother was young. Too young to be pregnant, especially with twins. She didn't survive the labor. Oh, what do you know about my grandma? I'm afraid there isn't much I can tell you. I think there were two in that generation. The eldest died when the girls were still children. Edwardine never spoke about them, nor did your mother. I feel like I know a lot about the women in my family, but what about the men? Did they even exist? I suppose they just haven't been very noteworthy since Edwardine took over the mines. Her husband died a long time ago. Let's be quite honest, I can't even recall his name. Might have been Stuart or something, just as forgettable. From what Vivian said, her father was some teenage fling that ended once your grandmother found out she was pregnant. I'm fairly certain it was similar for Vivian, though she was much older, and I believe she was the one who ended it, what with skipping town and all. I'm so curious about the story of our mother. Why'd she leave? What happened when my mum found out she was pregnant? She came to me for advice. She was distraught. It was like she'd been handed a death sentence. Maybe it was fear for what had happened to her own mother. Maybe it was something else. But she seemed convinced she was in danger. Tabitha had already been born by then, of course, but she was born in wedlock, so I assumed your mother's worries had something to do with religion. Though the Scarlets weren't particularly religious as far as I knew. But the way Vivian was that night she came to me, it stuck in my mind. It's always had me wondering what it was about your family that made her panic so much at the thought of having a baby. Our mother must be so disappointed in us right now. What's with all the mystery and ritual? If you have something to tell me, just come out and say it. I'll need your tea leaves first. I have pieces of the puzzle. The tea leaves should help to give me the full picture. All done! Oh, good. Glad you found the tea palpable enough to drink. It should do you some good. It's one of my more medicinal blends. Now, on to business. Sybil takes the cup from you, staring thoughtfully down at the sludge. Oh dear, this doesn't bode well. You've got just about every warning that can fit in the bottom of a cup. Cross, kettle, hourglass. All of these mean death, misery, difficulty. And the hourglass tallies all together with definite urgency. It's fair to assume that this all has to do with whatever brought the ditchlings. Something is coming, and whether any of us can stop it, I'm not sure, but we may at the very least be able to figure out what it is. And there's a central figure here, a cat, an enemy, lurking in plain sight. I'd like to see. I'm sure it wouldn't make much sense to most people. It'll probably just look like a confusing mess of old leaves, but you're free to take a look. You take the cup, staring down into it. It's just leaves. There's no pattern, nothing swimming together in the dregs of your tea to give you any warnings or premonitions. After a long moment, Sybil takes the cup back from you. I hope that settled your curiosity. Don't worry if you couldn't make sense of it. It takes years to learn this sort of thing, even for someone with your propensities. She winks, conspiratorially. I love this whole you know that I know that you know that I know between us. How do I know you're not making things up? I suppose you don't. But what's the harm in humouring an old woman? The cat could be... Who do I think the cat is? I mean, the cat is not Dustin. I think my thoughts are either the cat is Tabitha, or the cat is you. How do I know you're not the cat? I suppose you don't, though I'd think the cat wouldn't exactly warn you about itself. Still, you can't rule anyone out, even the old woman with the tea obsession. You don't have to figure out an answer right away. It often takes time for the mind to connect the dots. Just be on guard, and keep vigilant that someone close to you isn't to be trusted. We know from the ditchlings that something terrible is coming your way, and it's likely that it's connecting to some hidden enemy. Perhaps we can try to counteract whatever might be planned for you. Judging by what you told me last night, those stones, carvings, seals, whatever you want to call them, I think it's likely they have something to do with this. Until the cat reveals itself, it seems like your best course of action is to seek these carvings out. Piece together what you can from your visions, and arm yourself with information. Have you sensed any others around town? Do you think you might be able to find another? Your thoughts drift to that door yesterday, the one that seemed to draw you in, urging you deeper into the clinic. Even just remembering it is enough to tug at you, compelling you to return and to open it to see what's on the other side. You can find Stella later. Maybe you can even find her there. What's important now is finally seeing what's hidden in the clinic. You didn't get all of this from the tea leaves. Of course not. The tea leaves are merely a guide. Sometimes they can help confirm suspicions, or fill in where my intuition falls short. My family has lived in these hills for a long time, as has yours. I know the Scarlets have secrets. I know Vivian was scared for you. But your place in all this is something we have to figure out together. And that's where little tricks like tea leaves come in handy. But we shouldn't digress. Do you know where you might find the next stone? But bad stuff always happens around them. What happens around these stones might not be anywhere close to what would happen if we let the danger encroaching on both you and this town act unopposed. The ditchlings are multiplying every day. This is all going to come to a heed, and it may just be a question of how prepared you are when it comes. Learning whatever you can could save your life, even if you're faced with more ghosts or ghouls along the way. I think that's all the help I can offer. I hope this conversation has been illuminating, even if it just brought up more questions than giving any clear answers. No, I won't reveal that too soon. All you did was look at some leaves and tell me to go and put myself in danger. I suppose you could see it that way, but I hope I've done more than that, even if you don't realize it yet. Thank you again for humouring an old lady, and stopping by for a chat. With a small grunt of effort, Sybil gets up from the table, and you're escorted back to the door. And remember, be careful who you put your trust in. According to your tea, the cat is getting ready to pounce, and merely being ready for it might not be enough. The cat is Wayne. It'd be kind of cool and heartbreaking if it was, though. Sybil closes the door to the tea room. The bells of its door strangely flapped in the stale air of the nearly empty general store. Talk to Miles? Sure. Miles, is your mum a witch? Wouldn't you like to know? Yes, I would. I would. I would, actually. It's totally obvious that she's a witch. Like, you even need me to say it. So, ghosts are real. Just thought you should know. Yeah, I know. I've seen tons of videos of ghosts doing stuff on the internet. I'm not 12. I'm 13, actually. So, Kanika has a cold? That's what she says. She's just trying to get out of work again. Like I didn't have anything better to do all week while she sits in her room watching anime. Says the guy in Goku pants. Everybody knows Dragon Ball is good anime. She watches the trashy shit. You see any weird rocks around town? Yeah. You? Oof. He smirks. Clearly this is a very sick burn, and you should feel bested by his wit. I'll check in on Kanika then. You're not going anywhere before checking in on Kanika. You make your way upstairs. Oh, I love her little stickers. I love the skull one and the coffin and the bat. Actually, I like them all. Mum, I really don't need any more tea. I think I'm just gonna lie down for a while. I'm not your mum. Oh, Demetra. What's up? I'm going to the clinic. I was hoping you would join me? Sorry, Demetra. My mum was right. I'm exhausted. I probably shouldn't push it, or I'll wind up worse off tomorrow. It looks like you're on your own. You make your way out of the general store and down the road to the clinic. You make your way up to the familiar hill, past the rows of ragged houses that make up Scarlet Hollow's residential area. It is... Oh, the ditchlings are at it again. It isn't long before you find yourself outside of Dr. Kelly's clinic, its secrets enticing you to find a way in. Even at the bottom of the hill, you can already feel the presence. It's like a magnet has been fixed to your ribcage, gently tugging you forward, guiding you towards whatever emits the compulsive frequency. Talk to the animals? Ask a woodland creature how they get into the house. You quickly glance around, eyes trained on the underbrush. A flash of a striped tail grabs your eye immediately. Can I help you, Buster? Hey there. If you were trying to break into that house at the top of the hill, how would you do it? What, just because I've got little hands and go through people's trash, I'm supposed to know how to break into places? There's a hill that'll take you right up to that big, flat roof thing. Sometimes the humans leave the windows open up there and I go inside. Don't tell them, okay? I like to sleep in their big piles of cloth. It's one of my few joys in life. He leaves you as you turn back to look at the clinic. You have your way in. Go in through the clinic door. No one will see you. Let's knock on Reese's basement first. You cautiously approach the house, kneeling next to the low basement windows of Reese's room. You knock. There's no one in there. Reese must be somewhere else. Nah, just march in. You found, at times, that if you hadn't wished to be seen, then there's been nothing stopping you from remaining hidden. Graveyards, abandoned buildings, old tunnels. You've been in all sorts of strange and unusual places without incident. And for some reason tonight, Dr. Kenny's clinic feels no different. You carefully make your way up the old wooden stairs to the clinic's wraparound porch, avoiding any suspiciously creaking-looking steps. You push the door open slowly, just enough for you to slip in, but not enough to risk any sound from the door's ancient hinges. Oh, there she is! You can see the dock at the desk in some room down the hall. She hasn't noticed you. You shut the door silently, watching her closely. You're in the clinic, free to explore as you please. Or rather, you're free to explore as you please. You can feel that odd sensation again, the nagging pull of whatever it is that wanted you to find it. You're here now, and it knows you're here, and you know exactly what it is. Another stone carving, eager to show you its secrets. You've been caught by its gravity, an overwhelming curiosity guiding you around a corner and towards a dark doorway under the stairs. It's been left ajar, as if inviting you to enter. Turn on the lights. Race! The lights click on. You're in the morgue. Demetra? What are you doing in the morgue? What are you doing in my house? Hi. Vampire! I'm not. Please don't stake me. I just sometimes find it easier to sleep down here. Don't ask me why, that's just how it is. His words seem distant to you. The tugging is strong down here. You can almost feel yourself slipping into a trance, and your eyes wander to the back wall of the morgue. You need to see what's back there. Follow the pull. You touch the wall. It feels disappointingly solid under your palms. Hey, are you okay? You feel Reese's hand gently shake your shoulder, and for a moment, the thing on the other side of the blank white wall loosens its pull on you. You kinda looked possessed for a second there. You good? Make him understand. Use your words. Don't let this fervor consume you. Be present in the moment. You inhale deeply and take in your surroundings. You can't help but notice that one of the body storage drawers is labeled Perlan Scarlet. Examine your aunt's body. We can snoop on... Okay. Look at the corpse. You step forward and pull out the drawer. So this is your Aunt Perlan, Carl Baroness of the Scarlet Mines, and the local she-devil that it seemed to no one, not even her own daughter, was able to mourn. Don't look at me. Don't, turn your head and look at me. This is not the first corpse you've seen, but it feels the same as any other, which is an empty body now, the warmth and energy of life now dissipated. The same as your mother was, and the same as you'll be one day. Cold air rises from her bluish skin, her vacant, filmy eyes staring up at nothing. You'll try to imagine what she may have looked like alive and breathing, slinging subtle insults at the townsfolk. It's hard to picture any expression on a face so stiff and cold with death. Making sure she didn't walk off? Poke her? She's totally faking. I bet she's behind everything. Do you know how to check for signs of murder? Just wondering. No, sorry. Not unless there's a meat cleaver sticking out of her head or something. Doesn't look like that's the case, though. Just looks like an old lady. Sleep apnea? I don't know. Having seen what there was to see, you slide the drawer back in and close it. The mines had a stone carving the other night, as did Oscar's house yesterday. They've been giving me visions. I can sense one on the other side of this wall. I need to see it. I need to see it, Reese! Reese glances back at the wall. You're really serious, aren't you? This is probably a bad idea, but if you really need to get in there, I'm pretty sure there's an emergency axe somewhere upstairs. I just need to get the dock out of our hair. Should take 2 seconds. Get the dock out of our hair? Yeah, if I say I'm sick and need something, she'll drop whatever she's doing and do it for me. Surefire way to get her out of the house. And most of the time it's true, anyway. Use what you got to get what you need. No shame in that. Exactly. Sounds great. Lead the way. Sweet. Be right back. He strides past you, his long legs moving swiftly. He seems excited. His usual dour demeanor replaced with an uncharacteristic pep when faced with the prospect of sneaking around and tearing down walls. I mean, I'm not surprised. You hear his soft voice filtering in through the open doorway at the top of the stairs. A hoarse and sickly edge added for effect as he speaks to his mother. Hey, Mom? He coughs gently. Reese, I didn't know you were awake. I still feel like shit, but I think I can finally try to keep some juice down. It looks like we're all out, though. Really? I thought I'd just pick some up. I've got an errand to run on Main Street anyway. I'll go pick up some orange juice. And some ginger ale, too. That would be awesome. Sorry to ask, I know you're probably busy. It's no problem. It doesn't take long. Don't do anything too strenuous while I'm gone. Just lie in bed until I get back. Thanks, Mum. I'll take it easy. You hear her footsteps move down the hall, then the front door opening and closing. It worked! The theatric rasp has left his voice, excitement rising in its place. Come on up. We don't have long until she's back. As you step out of the morgue, you relax. The extra space between you and the carving has weakened its hold on you, and with it, your desperation to claw your way through the wall and unveil it. It's one of those emergency fire axes, so it should be pretty obvious wherever it is, though I'm not sure where she would be keeping it. I'll show you around. Let's try the doc's office first. We're snooping. You make your way to the doorway of her now vacant office. I don't see an axe in here. He's right. A cursory glance reveals nothing but stacks of paper and cabinets of medical supplies. But something on the desk catches your eye. Some sort of records, with your family's name on them. Pick up the documents to read later. Stash it in my pockets. You scoop up the folder, tucking the documents in for later perusal. Reese watches you with curiosity. Stealing medical documents? If my family is going to keep secrets from me, I better learn what I can. Totally. Steal anything you need to. You've got a mystery to solve. I'm not going to stand in your way. Let's check the medical supply room next. I can imagine a room full of chemicals being a place someone might want to keep an axe. Better be careful stealing stuff in there, though. That might really get you in trouble. You turn around and leave the office. It's time to move on. The medical supply room is probably a good bet. Fire axe seems like something that might be useful in a room full of chemicals. It's just down the hall. There it is! Looks like it needs a key, though. We better not break the glass. I'd rather explain why I had to steal the axe after we've had a chance to use it. There must be a key in here somewhere. He stops. If it's listening to something you can't hear. Shit, she's back already. As if on cue, you hear the front door to the clinic open and close. The creak of its antique hinges echoing down the hallway. Footsteps dart down the hall. She's headed this way. Quick, we gotta hide. I'm not supposed to be in here. He opens the closet door and hurriedly motions you inside. Shoves me in there. You slip past him, scrunching into the small space as best you can. He attempts to slide in after you. Get in here! You make space, and he slips in next to you, closing the door just enough that you can both still monitor the entrance to the supply room. Dr. Kelly storms in, plastic bag in tow. She takes something out of her bag and places it onto the counter. And then she hurries back out, bag rustling as she makes her way back down the hallway. We better wait a second, just in case. Flirt with Reese? Oh, so tempting. Not this playthrough, though. Quietly wait for the danger to pass. The two of you stand in tense silence, both crammed into the suffocating closet, taking shallow breaths as if she could hear you breathing from the other side of the building. But the footsteps soon return. Dr. Kelly makes her way back towards your hiding place, creaking floorboards broadcasting her location all the way to the hallway just outside your hiding spot. His head swivels suddenly. That was the door to the house. We're in the clear, let's go. The two of you spill out of the closet. Reese quickly and quietly starts pulling out drawers, scanning them for keys. Let Reese handle it. You watch while he rifles through drawers, content to let him figure it out. Soon there's a jingling of keys, and he turns to you, victorious. There we go. They're even color-coded. She made this too easy. Reese pauses to look at the plant on the table. It was weird of her to drop that off, right? Why would she put some alien-looking fruit in the supply room? She's not a pharmacist. She's not supposed to make her own medicine. This room is for storing stuff she orders from a natural pharmacist. And I doubt it's decorative. Could always eat it. Let's take it with us and look it up later. Stash it in our pockets. We're just stashing everything. Yeah, we're on the clock. Don't want to get caught up in here. He shoves a berry from the weird plant into his pocket. I'll meet you down there. I'm gonna come up with something to cover for the noise. He hands you the axe, and you make your way back down the hallway towards the morgue. You follow Reese's instruction, once again, starting down the basement stairs, letting the pull of the stone carving guide you back to the morgue. Dr. Kelly's voice filters down from above. I was right. We did already have juice. It was just in the back of the fridge. But there's no harm in having extra. What are you doing in the clinic? I thought I told you to go get rest. Oh, I'm just gonna chill in the morgue. I've got my speakers, so if you hear some weird sounds, that's just my music. I'll be sure to put in earplugs to drown out all that industrial clanging you listen to. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of you spending time down there. It can't be good for your mental health to hang out in a refrigerator for corpses. Do you have at least a blanket this time? Yeah, I'll be fine. It's just a change of scenery. My room feels too claustrophobic right now. Okay, I'll let you know when it's time for dinner. You hear the door close, and the sound of Reese descending the stairs to join you in the fluorescent lit room below. Hey! Hey! I should warn you, something spooky might happen when we break down that wall. Reese smiles. Good. Feel like I've been missing out lately. That's the spirit. Stop asking questions. It's time to see what's on the other side of that wall. May I make the first blow? Go for it. You approach the far end of the morgue, axe practically singing through the air as you strike the wall. The first cut offers a surprising amount of resistance. There is some structure behind it, some wood frame holding it in place, trying to stand between you and what waits for you on the other side. You stagger back from the massive hole in the wall and admire your effort. Holy shit! That is so cool and creepy! The splintered edge frames a dark passage, seemingly cut deep into the side of the cliff, cold seeping from a forgotten place into the already frigid morgue. Reese coughs as he takes a better look at what lies beyond the wound in the wall. There's a whole hallway back there. Thick, stale air leaks from the hole, filling the morgue with an unearthly mildew smell. Earthy mildew smell, like the room is slowly filling with dirt. And with the stink of the grave-like room beyond comes an even stronger compulsion. You step forward, and you climb into the hole. This is wild! I had no idea any of this was here. An entire hospital wing, rotting away for decades behind some flimsy drywall? Someone doesn't want us to find these carvings. I wonder if it's whoever put them there, or if it's someone else. Whatever their reason, they went to a lot of effort to hide this one. I wonder if the doc even knows about this wing. You step forward into the unknown. You don't bother to retrieve the axe. The final wall concealing the carving is rotten, water damage having eaten away at the wood over the course of unknowable years, the planks nearly reduced to sawdust. You tear into it. Here we go. Enoch, I thought you weren't going to come. I was worried you'd leave me here forever. That's the infamous Enoch again. They said there's nothing they can do. I'll never use my legs again. Enoch, what am I gonna do? Calm down, Teddy. These doctors don't know what they're talking about. I've been doing my own research, and I found us an alternative. You won't have to worry about anything from here on out, I promise. I went to talk to the witch. A witch? But that's nonsense. It's alright. It's all sorted. We're taking you home today, and everything will be resolved by this time next week. Everything goes black. Your vision swims back into focus, and it takes a solid second or two to reorient yourself. You're in an unfamiliar bed. Reese leans against the far wall, eyeing you with concern and curiosity. Hey! I was worried you'd slip into a coma or something. You tore down a wall like a wild animal, found some weird carving, and collapsed. I think you might have had some kind of seizure. Are you okay? Yeah, this just happens a lot. This is my thing. Wait, nothing spooky happened? The mountain didn't collapse on us? No ghosts? No, nothing. You just fell down, twitched a little, and when you seemed stable, I carried you back here. That was a few hours ago. Maybe there's something spooky going on right now, we haven't realized it yet. Reese glances around, the two of you waiting in silence as you wait for something spooky to happen. Maybe, or maybe not. I guess it would be for the best if nothing bad happened. He sighs. Too bad, though. With your track record, I was kinda hoping we'd run into some unimaginable horrors. At least I know there's an abandoned hospital wing in the morgue. I'm sure there's plenty in there to get creeped out by. Does Dr. Kelly know I'm here? No. I snuck you back into the house while she was busy in the medical storage room. Figured you would want to come to in the morgue. You figured correctly. I had a vision. Like, hallucination? I have those sometimes too. Used to have them a lot as a teen. Always just weird little things. Like my hands would look wrong, and my neck would seem too long, or the room would feel smaller. I still have those documents I swiped, right? Yeah, you should still have them on you. Okay. Lore. Sure enough, you pull out the file containing medical documents about your family. Oh, all of them. All of them. Let's do Palan's first. Cause of death. Murder. Sleep apnea. Discovered by her daughter, Tabitha... Chrysanthemum? Scarlet. No autopsy performed. Oh, Tabitha. Edwardines. Edwardine Scarlet. Born April 9th, 1913. Died February 12th, 2003. Aged 89. Cause of death. Heart failure. Signed by her granddaughter, Palan Scarlet. Pretty normal. Almost made it to 90. Died of a normal old person illness. Ooh, Enox. Enox Scarlet. Born September 9th, 1887. Died August 20th, 1957. Aged 69. Cause of death? Fall from cliff. That's very specific. This one has a coroner's report attached. Organs sustained impact injuries. Lacerations to the neck and body consistent with fall from great height. Okay, somebody had to have pushed him, right? We've got the gist of how much of a slimy man he was. Someone had to have pushed him. Other death certificates. You quickly flip through a few of the other Scarlets whose names aren't quite as familiar. Theodore Scarlet. Oh, the man from the flashback. Born May 24, 1890. Died 1918. Aged 28. Cause of death, crushed in mine collapse. Body not recovered. Signed by his brother, Enoch Scarlet. Joseph Scarlet. Born April 1914. Died June 7, 1944. Lewis Scarlet. Born August 1920. Died June 6, 1944. Both killed at Normandy in the line of duty. These must have been Edwardine's brothers. Certificate of fetal death. Infant boy. Andrew Charles Scarlet. Delivered April 3rd, 1945. Stillbirth. Mother, Edwardine Scarlet. Cause of death. Complications during birth. No doctor present. Home burial. There was no doctor present at the birth, and a home burial. There's some information missing there. So suspicious. Alexandra Scarlet. Born December 12th, 1947. Died August 20th, 1957. Age 9. Missing. Presumed dead. Signed by mother Edwardine Scarlet. Alexandra. The owner of the doll. So she went missing. I wonder if she might come back at some point. She is presumed dead. But I wonder if she will turn up somehow. Marybelle Scarlet. Born September 3rd, 1946. Died October 30th, 1963. Age 17. I mean, given how Wayne's here. Cause of death. Complications during stillbirth. No, complications during childbirth. Signed by her mother, Edwardine Scarlet. Oh, so that's the woman on... That's the portrait in our bedroom. Gotcha. I think the carvings are trying to warn me about something. My family has dark secrets. An old family like yours? I believe it. Hopefully that's all ancient history, though. No, it seems to be coming back round. So, what now? We might be stuck down here for a little bit. The dock is on a warpath up there. I refuse to take my medicine, and she's not happy about it. But after I looked this up, there was no way I was going to take anything she gave me. She's been poisoning me for years. Poison! I went ahead and blocked my door, so she can't get down here. Now we just have to wait her out. You blocked your door? Of course I did. Put a chair in front of it. It's never failed me before. You don't need her coming down here to finish me off or whatever it is she might do now that I know her treatment plan has been all these years. Hell yes, sleepover. Good. Gives us time to figure out a game plan. Exactly. I think we should treat her like a legitimate threat. I have these weird memories. I always assumed they were dreams or hallucinations because they didn't fit the way I thought of her. But I think she's used tranquilizers on me. Other times that I've gone too unruly for her. I don't know how much of those memories I can trust, but I'm starting to think I should believe my instincts when it comes to the lengths she's willing to go to keep me under her control. We'll wait till she's asleep. Then we can at least get out of the basement, and we can figure out what to do from there. But why would your mum poison you? I don't know. But the internet says this is castor bean. It's used to make ricin, a super deadly poison that causes some of my exact symptoms. And death, usually. The thing I can't figure out is whether she's been trying to kill me slowly, or if she just likes keeping me sick enough to be dependent on her. Either way, I don't think I ever had an illness. I think the illness was me growing up and becoming less easy to control. She sure found a cure for that. Yeah, ricin is really bad. How are you not dead? I don't know. Maybe it's low enough doses? Or maybe I developed a tolerance. But I think the fact that I feel more and more alive by the minute is enough proof that she was keeping me sick. I don't even need solid evidence. With your evidence, you should be able to go to the cops. Maybe not the local cops, but a cops. I do have the castor bean from the pharmacy, but I'd have to prove where I got it from. And that she used it to poison me. It's possible the cops might think I'd snapped and it could turn out even worse for me. I don't think the doc would hesitate to have me committed if it meant she could keep her hold on me. Good point. No matter what, we should get out of this basement soon. Where would we go? The only person I know who has a car is Kanika, and she's not answering her phone. I don't know anyone else. I don't have any other family to go to. I never even finished high school. When I get out of this house, I don't know how I can make sure I won't wind up back down here. Oh, you can stay with me if you want. At least till you get on your feet. That's not permanent. You'd let me stay with you? That's amazing. I would love that. Okay, but you gotta deal with my pussy, rotting potential roommate, though. I never thought I'd get out of this basement, let alone move to a place like Lillian. Yeah, I'm sure Lillian's a nice place. He smiles, his eyes distant as he imagines the possibility of such a life, undoubtedly for the first time. Thanks, Demetra. You have no idea how much this offer means to me. But I guess we'll still got to pass some time before we can get out of here. A distraction seems like a good idea. As you can probably tell, I'm getting a little jittery. Maybe it's the lack of poison in my system for the first time in years, or the fact that my whole perception of reality has been turned on its head. Probably a combo. It doesn't feel awful, to be honest. What if your mum doesn't fall asleep? You shouldn't call her my mum. As far as I'm concerned, she's forfeited that title. I don't even think I should call her doctor. She's just some woman now. Can't wait for her to be in the rearview mirror of the rest of my life. If she doesn't fall asleep by 10, we can figure something else out. These windows are supposedly shatterproof, which you always said was for burglars. Now I assume it's yet another way to keep me boxed in. But we can try to break them anyway. Stop trying to get me to flirt with him, game. I believe you owe me a showing of Shinochi death blood. I believe I do. Reese gets the movie set up and joins you on the bed. Let me know if it gets to be too much for you. I'm not a great judge of how other people will react to the sort of things I watch, but I definitely don't want you to feel uncomfortable. Oh, no uncomfortableness here. Not with who we're romancing. This is a slow burn of a movie, but the dread it's managing to build is palpable in the room. Maybe that's just how it feels down here all the time. Or with the grisly paintings, lack of lighting, cinder block walls, and of course the fact that the woman currently lurking upstairs had been poisoning her son since his teens. I've seen a couple of this director's other films, and they're all interesting, though this is probably the best introduction to his work. The way it jump cuts to seemingly unrelated TV show recordings that then wind up tying back into the narrative adds a level of realism and depth to the world that I find really engrossing. It's found footage used to its fullest. I can't believe I'll be able to just do things from here on out. Like watch movies with another person, or talk to people. Ever. You can hear the difference in energy now that Reese hasn't had his daily dose of poison. He's uncharacteristically chatty, clearly not used to talking to another person, let alone when he has the energy to carry on a long conversation. Something is changing inside of him. I mean, also he's going to talk about a bit of his passion here as well. Reese, you feel different. Like your whole personality is changing. Is everything okay? Everything is more than okay. I haven't felt this good in... I don't think I've ever felt this good. The man on the screen yells portents of doom into the camera, trailing off into a wordless scream. The plot is really heating up. I love that there are all these distinct sort of vignettes, little pockets of horror that affect a small number of people, and only once you start to see how they fit together can you realize some fundamental horror about the universe. And then it sees you back. Incredible. Cosmic horror in the truest sense. Reese is becoming very animated. It's probably safe to assume that he's dealing with a lot of extra adrenaline right now, with his entire reality turning out to be a lie. But he's also talking over the movie. Let him! It's more than just something that's changing in Reese. It's everything. There's a knock on the window. Oh, now you decide to show up, huh? Watch a movie with him, will you? Demetra, don't get any closer to that thing. It's time to go home. That voice. I know that voice. Is that who's been following you around? Oh yes. Without another word, Wayne starts pounding on the supposedly shatterproof window. Enemies upstairs, enemies outside. We're surrounded. Even if I get out of this house, I won't be safe. You won't be safe. Oh, I've missed his theme music. Wait, what do you mean? Wayne isn't gonna hurt you. He hasn't hurt anyone. Yes, he will. He's furious with me. Can't you hear it? Is he? Do tell. But I'm not weak anymore. I can fight back. I don't have to cower in fear from the people who want to hurt me. I can protect both of us, Demetra. Reese! The window shatters. As Reese tears at his clothes, paint bubbles out from the canvases, his ghoulish figures peeling themselves out of their two-dimensional worlds, invading yours, crawling up the walls. Grab my hand, I'll pull you out. Oh my god. Leave us alone. Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes. And a surge of violence. The change that has been brewing inside Reese finally comes. As it manifests, the broken basement window is sealed off, and Wayne along with it. We need a second to appreciate here. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my god. Stay where you are. We aren't safe, but I feel strong now. I think I can save us. Stay here. I'll be right back. I just have to deal with the doc. Pardon? Reese storms up the stairs, leaving you with his creations. We don't need to call Tabitha. We can handle this. We can do this ourselves. Honestly, you're not sure who to help. Best to follow Reese and see how things play out. You make your way to the door that beckoned you yesterday. All intrigue now washed away. You know where it leads, and you know what secrets the stone that lurked in the forgotten basement of the clinic had to share with you. Now the clinic holds a new horror. Oh, look at them all! Somewhere beyond the narrow hallway, leading from the house proper into the doctor's office, there's a monster, preparing to do something unthinkable. Open the door. You grasp the handle and turn. Dr. Kelly emerges from the shadows and levels a firearm in your direction. You instantly notice it's not a proper rifle, but some kind of tranquilizer gun. Shoot me now before anyone else gets hurt. Duck! Do as she says, ducking out of the way. She shoots. The gun isn't very loud. There's only a pop as the projectile leaves the barrel, whizzing through the air. Whoa! You turn to see a dart embedded in Reese's chest. He pulls the tranquilizer dart out from between his ribs, heaving heavy breaths as the drug courses through his system. Wait, so he was behind me? What did he plan to do? Shove me aside or something? You're gonna have to try harder than that, you No! How did you... Wayne! It's Wayne! He keeps coming back. As if you could hope to stop me, you pathetic waste of flesh. Before Wayne takes another step down the stairs, hate blows out between cracks in the wood. Reese's panic pulling in a mob of furious creatures to hold his enemy in place. This is great. This is great. There's two monsters in one place. This is a good time, right here. The artist darts away, but his creations continue their work in his absence. Oh no, he's being held back by globs. Dr. Kelly makes her escape down the hallway as Wayne is overcome, glued in place at the top of the stairs by stiffening globs of paint. Can I help him in any way? Run to a nearby room. If there was an option, I would assist Wayne there. You rush out of the main entryway, taking cover in the first room you see. A few seconds pass. Things are quiet. Hey. Dr. Kelly's voice crackles out of some unseen speaker. You, Demetra. I'm stuck in the safe room. I can't help you from here, but you can help the both of us. I'm sure Wayne can handle this. Well... What, so you can keep poisoning him forever? Christ, is that how this happened? You helped him sleuth that out? Well, good job. now you get to see why I would choose to give my son lethal doses of poison every day. If I don't, he turns into a murder machine. Now listen to me. You're in the medical storage room, right? I need you to use the black tape key to get into the cabinet, and bring me the infant tranquilizers. It's a bottle labeled carfentanil. Bear tranquilizers clearly aren't going to cut it anymore. Oh, Reese. An intercom system, huh, Doc? Good. You should hear this. Demetra, you don't have to do anything she says. I'm not gonna hurt anybody else. Just her. If I don't, you and I both know she's just gonna shoot me full of elephant tranquilizers. Did I hear that right? And shut me back down in that basement. Or maybe someplace even worse. And keep killing me every day for the rest of my miserable existence. I feel amazing right now. Better than I've ever felt in my life. I'm not dangerous. She's just scared because she knows she has to finally pay for what she's taken from me. Yep. You know what? Wayne, help me! He's a little tied up at the moment. Teleports behind him. Not anymore. Reese cries out in pain. Ah! What the hell did you do to my shoulder? I'll handle it. Try to get somewhere safe until then. Two stagger off down the hallway. Quick! Grab the tranquilizers and head to the safe room. Sure. You do as she says. Tranquilizers are easy to find, marked with a small square of black tape to match the key. She's certainly an organized woman. You make your way out of the medical storage room and back to the hallway where Dr. Kelly disappeared. If Wayne and Reese are fighting right now, I kinda wanna watch, not gonna lie. As you approach, Dr. Kelly heaves open the door, slowly breaking apart the massive paint sealing it shut. Are they harmful to us? Hurry! I don't think I can keep it open for long. You slip past her into the safe room. She shuts the door quickly, though one of the little smears managed to slip past her. Hiya! She stomps on it. Painted viscera splatters across the cement floor. It sounds like Reese and your friend are still fighting. We probably have a few minutes before he gets here. Oh, okay. Let's talk, shall we? You've got a lot of explaining to do. What is this room? Old X-ray room. Lead walls. After I realized this whole situation was a possibility, I had the door reinforced with special remote-controlled locks, so that it could finally come in handy. Alright, let's talk, Reese. Yeah, I bet you have some questions. Just a few. Go ahead, I have nothing left to hide. When did you find out? A little after he hit puberty. He had all the usual changes, then a few extra. Thickened nails, sharp teeth, elfish ears. I figured he might have some kind of genetic disorder. Had him checked out at a few specialists, but there was nothing obviously wrong with him. Then we had an argument, and he changed right in front of me. It was nothing like he was now, just a couple inches and some facial abnormalities. Enough to be noticeable. I was scared, and he could see that, and he stopped. I thought it was a one-off, or maybe a hallucination. But the second time, it wasn't as subtle, and it didn't go away as easy. That's when I knew for sure that this was something beyond my realm of expertise. How did he not know what he was? I've been medicating him since he was 12. We've only had 3 incidents like this before. Maybe 4, depending on what counts. This is the worst one by far. He doesn't seem to understand at first, he looks different, and I just make sure to stay on top of his dosages so he rarely ever does. But I've been preparing for this inevitability. He's an adult now. There's only so much I can do to control him. Yeah, see, you keep using that word. Control. Manage. Why did you start poisoning him? Dr. Kelly sighs. Can we stop calling it poison? Yes, it's poison, but the act of me giving him poison was not me poisoning him. I was medicating his illness. It started when he was around 15. I've been giving him increasingly high dosages of clonopin. But his body kept adapting, and his symptoms would come back, especially if we ever fought. I couldn't keep ordering all those drugs. It was already suspicious, and I could risk losing my license, especially if anyone ever found out what I was using them for. Someone approached me with a solution. I took it. And I've been dealing with the emotional and mental consequences of that decision ever since. Who approached you? And what did they say? Dr. Kelly gives you a long, hard look. I don't want to talk about that woman. But screw it. I might die tonight. Sure, I'll tell you. It was Sybil. Sybil again. I don't know how the hell she found out. Maybe Reese had an episode while he was over at her place, who can say? I thought she was insane. She was telling me to give my son ricin like it was a mystical mountain folk cure for fussy teenagers. She was right though. And I hate that. I hate the power it meant she had over me. Still has. Don't trust her, Demetra. She puts on that sweet old lady act, giving everybody tea and talking about healing magics or whatever. But she's a snake. Yeah, trust me, I do not trust her as far as I could throw her. We're having this mental, mystical mind standoff. What is he? At first I thought he was some kind of werewolf. But if he is, he doesn't follow any kind of full moon rules or anything. Silver doesn't do shit to him, and you've seen what he looks like. It's just weird. I almost wish I could examine him while he's fully transformed. I'd be fascinated to know what happens to him, or how his body does it. But he seems pretty hell-bent on ripping my throat out, so I guess that'll just have to remain a mystery. Was his dad similar? A strange little smile creeps onto Dr. Kelly's face. I wish I knew. Reese just kind of happened. I wasn't seeing anyone. I just woke up pregnant one day. I know how impossible that sounds. I'm a doctor, for Christ's sake. I kept having these weird dreams, almost like sleep paralysis episodes. Romantic sleep paralysis episodes. They were actually kind of sweet, but they were just dreams. But then, all of a sudden, my period stopped. I got morning sickness, and roughly 9 months later, Reese. Well, the relationship between you seems so difficult, to say the least. Yeah, you could say that. He was such a cute kid. When I found out I was pregnant, I was terrified. I didn't know if I'd be ready, but he made me love being a mum. I'm just thinking about the fact that our mum was terrified when she was pregnant as well. Maybe for two extremely different situations, but just notable. It's not like it was going to be sunshine and roses forever, no matter what. Kids grow up and they change, sometimes for the worst. This is part of being a mum too, doing what you can to make sure the child you brought into the world isn't going to go around eating people. But how do you know he's dangerous? Well, he wants to murder me, so that's clue number one. It's not like he's usually a violent kid. He's mostly just sad. But every now and then we butt heads, and that's usually when this side of him comes out. Imagine if this happens anytime he gets frustrated with anyone. Imagine he gets road rage one day, turns into a 12-foot tall monster with a million teeth, and rips somebody apart in the middle of a major metropolitan area. Yeah, he's dangerous. True, don't you think it might be a self-fulfilling prophecy? Oh, don't preach to me. Is he a sweet kid most of the time? Absolutely. And Ted Bundy was sweet to the people he picked up off the side of the road. Not the same thing. Didn't mean he didn't go ahead and slaughter them anyway. I know what my son is capable of, so it's my job to make sure he doesn't hurt anybody. What's the game plan, both short and long term? Well, I pump him full of elephant tranquilizers, then I lock him in here. Then I somehow convince him to see things from my perspective. Then we all live happily ever after. I see no flaws with this plan. There has to be some other way. It's just gonna make him feel trapped. It sure is, especially since I'll have to isolate him even more now that he knows what's going on. He is going to hate me. But you gotta work with what you've been given. And what I've been given is an ethical dilemma where I either let my son kill me, freeing him to go out and kill others, or imprison him for the rest of his life and force-feed him poison to keep him controllable. Again, controllable. Or the third option? Kill him. I've decided which outcome I can live with. While we're at it, any other secrets you're keeping? You have it all. You have no idea how relieved I am to finally say all this shit out loud. Sit in silence. You and Dr. Kelly sit in silence and wait for her son to make his way to you. The sound of distant breaking glass cuts through the silence of the clinic outside the safe room. Shit, this might be game time. Get those tranks ready. You have to get this door open before he crosses the hallway. Dr. Kelly opens the door. The two of you stare out into the hallway. Oh, here he comes! God, his artwork is amazing. Such an awesome design. Is this what you were so afraid of? Hand over the tranquilizers. This is our shot. Oh good, oh gosh. Okay, I am not on board with locking him up in the safe room. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I wouldn't feel good about that neither, especially since he is going to hate us probably just as much as his mother if we did that. And I don't approve of what she's done. I can see her perspective, but I don't approve of it. Oh god. Oh, this one is really making me think. It all comes down to, do I want Reese to be locked up? And the answer is no. Because she's making a lot of assumptions about him. Sure, this instance, but she's making a lot of assumptions about how dangerous he is, if he would kill someone else. Oh god. So, with that in mind, I think my mind's been made up. Oh, okay, yes. You take a cautious step back from the doorway. I'm sorry, Doc. You had no idea you were dealing with the terratophile of the town. You've convinced yourself he's evil. You'll never give him a chance to just exist. Stop messing around and hand them over now! Reese pushes his now massive form into the safe room, staring down at his mother. Reese, I'm so sorry. Okay. This is your last warning for everyone that does not want to see this. Gore incoming. We're gonna keep watching. Dear Lord. Okay, we're back now. Sorry you had to see that. But welcome to the Dead Mums Club? What happened to Wayne? Yeah, where is Wayne? Wayne? Oh. I pushed him out of a window. Alright. That's such a funny image. Be careful around him. Messed up my shoulder somehow. Still isn't working right. Oh yeah, that does look really nasty. He's evil. Really evil. He hates me. I could feel it. It almost seemed like you recognized him. Maybe. There's something familiar about him. Like I've met him before. The way he talked? I don't know for sure. Sorry. It's been a long day. Ugh. Sybil knows too. Be careful. I will. Oh, we have to hug him. We have to hug him. Look at him! We have to hug him! You carefully pick your way across the floor, avoiding what little is left of Dr. Kelly's remains, and kneel next to Reese. He stares at you with monstrous, but all too human eyes, viscera still dripping from his maw. You lean in and wrap your arms around him. It takes him a moment to react, seemingly shocked at your touch, but he wraps his arms around you. He needs it. His shoulders shake in your grip. You realize he's crying. And then he breaks out of your embrace and stumbles out of the safe room, his footsteps getting faster and faster as he runs off into his new life. Shell-shocked, you stumble out of the clinic and into the night air. Yet we're definitely not going to reap what we sow with having the only doctor in this town dead. And also it's definitely not going to have a negative effect on Reese, and he may or may not come to regret this later. But I guess that's not our problem for now. Oh boy. The night is oddly warm compared to the chill of the day. Crickets singing quietly in the sleepy little neighborhood. Everything that happened in the clinic feels almost like a dream, and now that it's over, you realize how little it meshes with your understanding of the world. Go home. Go home and sleep. It's time to go home. Before you can get far, you're interrupted by the sound of panting and the telltale jingling of dog tags. It's the militia. They poured out of the woods to stand before you on the road. Look at them! Look at them all! You were looking for Gretchen's human, weren't you? We found her. She's by the side of the road, a little ways through the woods. She's unharmed, but she wouldn't leave when we tried to make her, so we'll have to take you to her. Hopefully you can use your people words to get her to go someplace safe. The woods are crawling with those awful creatures. It's not safe anymore. Not even for a human. Yeah, that's interesting, actually. Will they start injecting humans? Or should I say implanting? Can they move from animals to humans? You are very, very good dogs. Lead the way. Yes, yes, we are good dogs. Hear that, Scraps? I'm not in it for the accolades. I'm not in it for the accolades, Daisy. I just do it to help those who need it. You let the dogs lead you into the wilderness, following on their heels as they take you to the Stella's hideaway. Before long, the trees thin, and you find yourself on a steep hill by a 2-lane road, lined on one side by sheer rock. And there, sitting on a log, staring mournfully out at the asphalt, is Stella. And there she is. Keep her safe. Be seeing you, speaker. You sit on the log beside Stella. Demetra? How did you... She looks over her shoulder in confusion. Is that a gang of dogs? Oh, thank God they were there. I didn't want her to start accusing me of stalking. I'm just so happy you're okay. Oh, you poor thing. I'm fine, but thanks for not being mad. Ooh, bit too early for that. I just want to know what happened. Please just talk to me. It doesn't matter. Everything's fine. What is this place, Stella? Why are you here? It's just a bunch of bad memories. There's nothing left to talk about. Come on, let's just get back to town. She doesn't need to hear this tonight. It's a bit, yeah, that's... You keep the events that transpired at the clinic to yourself, at least for now. You know, one of your best friends is actually a monster, and you also ate his mother. The two of you walk back to the town in silence. Also, she was poisoning him. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. She gives you a tired wave before retreating into her house. Ah, I wondered when you'd turn up again. Time for you to get home too. He appears, as if out of nowhere, clothes streaked with what at first looked like blood and gore, but you quickly realize it's paint, evidence of his altercation with Reese. Yeah, it's not looking good there. I'll walk you. Well, finally! Thank God you're okay. I was worried Reese might have gotten to you. Wayne emits a strange kind of coughing sound. You realize he's laughing. We made him laugh. Shall we? Wayne walks just ahead of you, in near complete silence. Let's see. Finally, we've made it. We've made it, everyone. Episodes leading up to this moment. I'm interested. I want you. Try to hold his hand while we walk. You try to take his hand into yours. He pulls away as you reach forward, leaving you grasping at air. Damn it. If that was a street smart option, we might have gotten away with it. A thoughtful gesture, but you don't want to do that. I wouldn't wish to frighten you. Give me your hand! But I promise, there will be a time and a place. bond we could share, Demetra, would be deeper than any bond you could form with anyone else. Alright, well, if that's a promise... Did you know Reese was like that? I knew he was different. How exactly, I wasn't sure. But now I know. I should be able to make quick work of him next time. Oh, don't you do that, actually. But I like him. You shouldn't have gotten attached. I don't suspect he's long for this world. Even if I don't put him out of his misery, someone else will. Eventually. That would cause such a conflict within me if at some point Wayne was the cause of Reese's death. At any point. Either he does it himself or he indirectly causes it. I'd need to sit on the other side of the room and stare at the wall for a moment if that happened. I thought you wanted me to stay at the estate. Aren't you going to lecture me? You were free to make your own decisions, and those decisions have been made. I know that something pulls at you. You! And now that it's started, I know that you cannot stop until your task is finished. I'll keep you safe while you do what you must. Why are you following me around? Why not Stella or Kanika or Sybil? Why not Tabitha? Because you're special. Why? Why am I so special? You simply are. Do you not feel the ties that bind us? They are unbreakable. God, he is just laying down all the romantic lines right now, isn't he? It's like he knows it's been building up to this, now he's just laying it all on. Thanks for looking out for me tonight. Anytime you find yourself in danger, I'll be there for you. I will always be there for you. Please stop, my heart can't take anymore. Continue on in silence. You continue in silence back to the estate. I'm sure we'll see each other tomorrow. You should try to spend some time in that old building before you head to town. Tabitha won't be around, too busy at the mines. Forbidden places won't be forbidden without her there to stop you, and you might be surprised at what you find. I really hope that Wayne is able to accompany us, though. Maybe if you're romancing him, or he has like a positive relationship with you. Even if he doesn't stay for long, I hope he shows up at some point. Until then, sleep well. He disappears into the underbrush. Go home. I think we can go home and go to sleep, feeling satisfied with what we accomplished today. The estate feels empty. Wind howling through its abandoned halls, the very foundations creaking beneath you. Your cousin must have already gone to bed. Let's go to bed too. Exhausted beyond belief, you stumble into your room and collapse on the bed. The damp smell of the mattress is starting to become almost welcoming, a sign that the now daily horrors of Scarlet Hollow are finally behind you, at least until the sun inevitably rises once again. You close your eyes, your exhausted body succumbing to sleep almost immediately. As you drift off, you think of Reese, out in the woods somewhere, blood-stained and free, the best way to be. And then you think of nothing. Well, oh well, that was the end of episode 4. We did it, everyone. We have finished our Wayne romance until episode 5 releases later this year. I am so excited for that. Unbelievably excited. So, lethal decision. We decided to side with Reese, and that resulted in Dr. Kelly's death. Which on one hand, he's now free, but also I do think he's gonna regret that later on, once he has more clarity to what he just did. Right now he's still very much running on fumes, emotional, traumatized. But I do feel bad for Rosalina. She's not going to receive any more checkups. We get to investigate the lake, I guess? Or the church in the next episode? That's what's, I guess, hinted at. Which I'm looking forward to that as well. But the big topic in the room, we finally flirted with Wayne! We are finally on track for his romance. And I can't tell you how curious I am to what a romance with Wayne looks like. Messy, probably. Messy. We're either going to lose our lives at the end of this, or we are going to be severely impacted, negatively. So either way, this is not ending well, and I cannot wait. We will be taking a small break from Scarlet Hollow. Not long, because I do intend to start the Reese romance playthrough next. But we're going to have a little palette cleanser first with something else that I intend to upload. Thank you to everyone who's been watching along. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you are excited as I am to start another run and continue both of these playthroughs when the next episode drops. Thank you for all the comments you've left as well. I really, really, really appreciate them. And I love interacting, especially when we're talking about Wayne, because in this run, we are all here for Wayne. We're all here to see how bad it's going to get. So let's go to the menu. Well, that is that. We've reached the end. We're closing the chapter on this playthrough for now. And then we'll be back soon with our Reese romance, our canon playthrough. In the meantime, take care of yourselves, everyone. Thank you so much again for your support and engagement and commenting, liking, all of it. I really, really appreciate it, and it has been a big motivator to get these videos out. And I've been really enjoying making them for that reason too. So I'll see you all next time for the next video, and then we'll be back to Scarlet Hollow, because nobody leaves the Hollow. Not for long. See you all then. Bye-bye. Bye.